Grand Rising, everybody. My name is Dejan, and welcome to my channel. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the dark side of spiritual awakenings and journeys. And I wanted to talk about this because more often than not, a lot of the times it is just when people talk about spiritual journeys and awakenings, they are they portray it as all light and sunshine and all good. But that's not the case, and I'm here to give you three little examples or points of the dark side of your journey that may happen or you may be going through right now. And one of them is that you may feel disconnected. And when I mean disconnected, I mean like you may feel. So let me start from the beginning. A spiritual journey or an awakening is when you start to work on yourself. You start to figure out who you are. You start to do more inner work in with your soul. So when you even sit down and start contemplating doing that, you're raising your frequency, your vibrations. So the disconnection comes into play when once you start doing that, people are still on other lower vibrations than you. So conversation, energies, they might start to feel off. So much so that you may lose friends or family. But that isn't to say that that's a good or a bad thing. It's just that, when you start to figure out more about yourself, you start dealing with yourself, your frequencies, your vibrations start to raise. So you start to get different messages up here than you did compared to when you were right here. You start to get different messages. So you're going to feel disconnected from people. You're not going to fit in anymore. You're going to feel like everything's off, that you don't really have a place. But this is just something that comes with the journey. Now, none of these are anything wrong. These aren't anything bad. These are just things that you may experience so that you can be a better version of you. There's nothing wrong. You're trying to figure yourself out, so you kind of don't want all these different emotions, all these different frequencies and vibrations tugging at you when you're trying to figure out who you really are to begin with. So feeling disconnected is one of the things that you may go through or struggle with on your journey. Another thing is your emotions. It's not gonna be all peachy and sunshine and rainbows. It's not. So you're gonna be, one day you might be fantastic, you might be ecstatic, peaceful, happy, just overflowing with all this great energy. But the next day or the next week, I don't even want to say week, but who knows? You might feel down. You might not be feeling it. And this isn't necessarily wrong, because remember, you're trying to get to understand yourself. So you're going to encounter emotions that either are new, things that you usually don't deal with, or B, you're going to start to come across emotions that you usually do deal with, and this may intensify them to some degree, but it is not to be looked at as a bad thing. Remember, you're trying to understand yourself, so you got to give yourself some time. You got to go gentle and be easy on yourself, because you're doing the best that you can to try to understand yourself. Remember, a lot of us been living the same ways we've been living for so long. We haven't even think or thought about like trying to be better or what it would take to be better. So these are just little bumps in the road. So it's okay. It's okay if you're going through any of these things. It's okay. Don't get discouraged. And that's the last final point I want to talk to you about, is that throughout this journey, you're probably going to feel hopeless or discouraged, because you're going to feel confused. You're not going to know if this is the right thing to do. If what you're doing you're not going to know if it's helping, because like I said, one day you're going to feel good, another day you're going to feel bad. And maybe that's because you have this idea that these spiritual journeys are supposed to be all sunshine and goodness, and I'm supposed to feel happy and peaceful all the time. But in the beginning of it, like during the journey, no, it's not going to be like that all the time. And you're going to feel discouraged and you're going to want to give up. But I'm here to tell you not to give up. Not to give up. Because it always gets tougher right before it gets better. And that spiritual journey is just so, like, it's so enlightening. Like figuring out yourself, who you are, why you act the ways that you act, like where you pick up certain qualities and traits and characteristics and the thoughts that you usually think about. When you finally get to the part of your journey where it's just like, okay, it's so much rewarding. You look at all the things you went through and it's like, I'm so glad that I went through all this. So don't be discouraged and don't give up, because this is such an amazing thing, and it'll change your life. Then you start opening your eyes to different aspects, like the law of attraction. Then you'll start to do that. You'll start to manifest your own heaven and stuff like that. Because before the journey, you were probably in hell. But now you're on your journey, you're trying to manifest, you're trying to connect with your higher self. You're trying to manifest your own heaven. So don't be discouraged if you feel lost or confused or this isn't working. You're on the path. You're on the path. And it's a beautiful path. Don't worry about the end too much. Don't worry about the destination, because there's no happy ending to an unhappy journey. So enjoy it. Be open to it. Welcome it. You might feel good one day, you might feel down one day, but hey, that's all a part of the process. So trust the process. And I hope that I was able to give you some insight on some things that you may be going through if you're on a journey or if you're about to start. A heads up. Like, hey, just remember, you might feel down one day, but don't get discouraged, don't give up. You're doing a great job. And yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you. That's the dark sides of this spirituality, of these awakenings. And I don't really want to say dark sides as these are negative or bad. This is just the other side of things. It's usually portrayed as all good. So here's this. Do with it what you will. But I do hope you enjoyed what I had to say. I hope you found it useful. Like, comment, subscribe. Where are you at on your journey? Have you felt any of these things already? Have you felt any of these? Are you just starting out on your journey? Tell me where you're at in the comment sections below. That'll probably be the pinned comment, so be on the lookout for that. So yeah, tell me where you're at on this, or on your journey below, and like, comment, subscribe, share. I don't know why I paused right there. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, family, whoever may be starting a journey, share it with them. And until next time, I love you guys.